la nuova F8 Spider, the new F8 Spider, a car that is combining the possibility to have a great sporty coupe, but at the same time a very elegant Spider, pure emotion. I have to ask to remain seated for a moment because I just need to take a moment to say thank you for all the ones that are connected via web, for their patience and for their connection to our brand. I hope they enjoy the presentation and I hope they will enjoy what is going to happen even in the future. Thank you very much, and as always, Forza Ferrari. Now, I have again to ask you to remain seated. Now we are in a much smaller group because we are not anymore connected via web. And I have to ask you to remain seated because here we want to give a bit of surprise. And we want to surprise you with something else. So please don't move, remain there because we have something else. And what is happening here today? This event and the presentation that we are doing is the first time in the history of the company we are launching two cars at the same time. And it's the first time that we will, but you have to wait the next car, because also the next car that you will see is something that was unpredictable. And so, let's talk about the new car. It's a concept that was missing in our product range since a lot of time. If you go back in our history, if you go back in our tradition, this kind of product was there. But it was not present since 50 years. We are not having a V12 Spider, you know we are talking about this model, since 50 years in our product range. The last one was the 365 Daytona, one of the most iconic cars. And that's why later on we will talk about design, because we had a great objective to make this car not only highly performant but also beautiful from a design standpoint. So 50 years of waiting, and despite the fact that the market was asking for this car, we decided to wait for several reasons that we will discover all together. But most of all, this car has been designed for a specific target. We do have what we call inside the factory, inside Ferrari, the connoisseur, which means the people that are not only buying and driving Ferrari, but they are connected with us. We decided to start from the top. And why from the top? Because certainly we took as a reference our A12 Superfast, one of the most performing V12 ever done by the company, but we decided to bring all the most advanced and innovative features developed by the company, starting from the active aerodynamic, down to the virtual short wheelbase 2.0, and down to again to the electronic power steering. All elements that goes in the technological field that are designed in order to enhance the pleasure to drive, in order to bring the car to the highest possible peak. And of course, we have the latest evolution of our V12 engine. A V12 engine that is part of our history, is part of the DNA of the company, is what we call the soul of the company. And here, of course, it is developing the 800 horsepower, which is always very important. It's the most high-performing V12 engine in the market, but most of all, it's an engine that has been also developed to go on track. What does it mean? It means that you can reach 80% of the maximum torque already at 3,500 RPM. But even more, as I was mentioning before, it gives you the possibility to go up to the limit close to 9,000 RPM. And again, the Symphony is considered to be something very similar to the sound that you will listen. Everything together is bringing this car to a stunning performance. A stunning performance that is represented, of course, by the horsepower, of course, by the power-to-weight ratio, but most of all, by the fact that with this car, you can reach the 0-100 in less than 3 seconds, and the 0-200 in 8.3 seconds. Well, what we still miss? The name. And even with the name, we try to do something awarding our history, because the name of the car will be A12 GTS. And I'm sure you all understand why. the Daytona, the 365 was mentioned 365 GTS. So we want to pay tribute to this car, to the last V12 Spider in the Ferrari history, in the range, that is now living again on the basis of the 812 with this iconic name, 812 GTS. And 812 GTS is connected to the fact, of course, that it's a Spider, but also a special Spider, because not only is the Spider that was missing since 50 years, but it's the first time in the history of Ferrari that we develop a retractable hardtop V12 Spider. Because on this car we decided to adopt our retractable hardtop, which is the most advanced evolved solution, very compact, that is delivering the possibility to open it very close in 14 seconds while you are driving. But more important, thanks to the compact solution that we have, it allows us to keep almost the same the space on board, which means comfort on board, and also the space for the baggage in the trunk. Now, as I was telling you, we tried to identify a concept and to develop a technology that was able to develop something completely new, something that would have made smile all our engineering that developed our V12 in the history. But most of all, there was something very important that I would like to deep dive on, which was to make sure that this car should be also pure beauty. Ed eccoci con la 812 GTS, the new baby in our product range, completely in a segment that was missing in the Ferrari product range since 50 years, something we are very proud of because, as you can see, it is combining a great sporty coupe but also with a beautiful and, as Flavio Manzoni was mentioning, elegant Spider. This is completing our product launches. You have had the opportunity to experience 2 launches at the same time, 2 Spider at the same time, which help us to try to give you the perspective of how different can be our client. Despite having 2 Spider at launch, this is going to be delivered to what we call the connoisseur, people that are looking for performance but also comfort on board. On the other side, the V8 Spider, our V8 engine car that are stressing the sportivity, delivered to someone that want to experience the maximum thrill of the performance. Now, the experience is close to be ending. We will offer you the possibility, of course, to come closer to the car. And I just have to remind you a couple of things. The first one, that when you get out of this room, there are going to be other 2 rooms where you can also see the 2 cars in a different color in the case of the A12 and in a specific setting. And even more important, please remind that in half an hour you have to come back here for the press conference. Thank you very much for being here and enjoy the rest of the show. Grazie.